Okay, today we're going to look at some of the Ole Miss counter blocking scheme and some of the variations off it. First play they run early in the game is a little counter blocking with the read option of the defensive end. Right, in this example, you will see Ole Miss quarterback reading the defensive end who's beelining it for the running back, which makes an easy pull read on this play. They pull the guard and tackle. The end takes the running back, and they get a nice 15-yard gain on the play with blocking up front. A little later in the first half, here's the same play. They're going to read it again. This time he decides to give the football. They're going to get a good kick out. They're going to get the tackle pulling. He's going to end up chipping to the linebacker, and they get 5 yards on it. There it is. All right, good kick out, good lead. Another 6 yards on the run play. Next counter variation they run, they're going to run it with a little orbit motion. This is going to be quarterback counter with the guard and H-back leading. You'll see they're in unbalance. They run the orbit motion. And now they're going to run just quarterback counter with the lead, guard tackle pulling, and him leading up the alley. Guard kicks out, get the H-back up, get 4 yards on it. As the game goes on now, they start running toss off it, guard tackle pulling in this direction, and they read it and they just give the toss on the right with just 2-on-2 blocking. All right, they get movement there. All right, they end up getting just an easy 5 yards on a simple toss play. Here's the same scheme. You got counter blocking, quarterback. All right, if he sees this guy come down, he will toss the ball. If not, he can run quarterback counter the other way. He has a read. They have leverage. They toss the football. End up getting it out on the perimeter for another 6-yard gain. And here's a toss play, counter action, toss it to the boundary. Nice 9-yard gain as the end squeeze inside to get 2-on-2 blocking. Now off the toss, they'll fake the toss, guard pulls, and they're going to run a little sail concept, hitting number 2 receiver on a nice deep sail route. There's a sail route from the end zone view. You get number 2, sail route is just a deep 14-yard out. You still have the flat to render, which is kind of making this linebacker hold a little bit. And they're able to hit the sail route behind the linebacker as the corner runs with number 1. Nice route and nice design there. You can see the same play from the really wide view. You can see the sail. All right, corner kind of outside backer is held a little bit by the route, doesn't get underneath it as the corners run off by number 1. In the game, Alabama makes an adjustment. They start bringing this outside backer, which tells the quarterback he is now going to pull it and run counter the other way. Doesn't like the look. They got the counter back the other side, and they end up getting 12 yards as the quarterback makes a nice read on the play. This is always one of my favorites against a 3-man, 3 hands, tight front, is because you can get center, guard, tackle. On these 3 plays here, you're just reading your backer, and you got good angles. You got the guard kicking out, and you got the tackle folding for that backer. It's an excellent scheme and design. You can see this play is taken away right here. You got numbers, you got this problem, but the mic is flying over the top, so the quarterback's able to read this outside backer. He's got good blocking as the guard has an angle for the DN. They're 3-on-3 inside, and the guard is folding up the linebacker who was out of the picture, overplaying the toss. Again, nice job of scheming by Ole Miss. Later in the game, they get a light box versus Alabama. They end up running the counter again. He sees him kind of sink, so he's out here playing it to him. He gets a give read. They run it. They get the counter. Again, nice scheme off the counter. They came back to their read play, and they do an excellent job getting 30 yards. Overall, this was a nice series and a big series for Ole Miss in this game. You had the counter, you had the play action, you had the toss with it. So nice job of the GT counter blocking scheme being used in various ways.